Hey, you guys, on this wonderful Wednesday. So I'm back again. I have several messages, and I'm going to get them out this morning or record them this morning because God was good to me yesterday. He allowed me to get some work done, He allowed me to get some rest. So I'm going to be about His business early this morning. But this particular message is titled Stop Bleeding on People. God gave me this message last night, and then he clearly said stop bleeding on people this morning in the spirit, and then he gave me more confirmation. This message is for a particular female. um you are in ministry or you have a ministry background, and you will know this marriage is for you will know this message is for you because you are married, and you are having issues within your marriage. Okay. And I'm going I and you're really having issues in your marriage. Um, and I had to really go into detail um, about what type of issues that you're dealing with. Pretty much within your marriage, um, well, prior to you getting married, you were getting spiritually attacked by other women before you got married and then after. And it really got into a uptick afterwards. Um, this man was involved with someone else while you and him were dating or talking. Like I said, you were in ministry, you might not have been actually having sex with him. However, um, we still can get emotionally attached to people, and emotional cheating is still cheating. So it's pretty much he was like emotionally cheating with you while he was going around with these different women. Um, the other women that he was dealing with, they dip and dab and do age witchcraft. So they were attacking you, and they were attacking you before you got married, and they are attacking you still now. Um, and I'm not saying that this person is not your husband, but it's like you don't got peace within your marriage. And I'm not saying this man is not your husband. However, we can tend to meet the right person, but at the wrong time. And it's like because that you're going through in your marriage, it's like you're bleeding on other people. Because the people that you used to hang around with or you associate yourself with, like it was before all of y'all were at the same level where y'all was going through the same things. And now you're starting to see the people around you elevate. Now you're starting to see how God is moving and dealing with them in a different way, in a different manner, because they had did the work. They had been obedient. Okay. And it's like you are bleeding on them. It's like you want them to be going through similar stuff that you're going through, which what you're going through is a lot of witchcraft. What you're going through is a lot of witchcraft, okay? And you want these people to be going through all this witchcraft with you. Like I said, however, when we tend to marry somebody that might be for us or might not be for us, at the wrong times, we that allows us to open demonic doors to be attacked. God is saying that your household is not in order. So because of what he still continue to doing, because some of these things he still continuing to do. It's like he got married to you. He married you, but he married you because he knew you was gonna put up with his mess. And this message is for you because you said if anything ever happens to me in this marriage, or if this marriage don't make it, I'm not gonna get married again, because that's how much of a warfare you have been experiencing. Um, so that's how I say you will know this message is for you. And God is saying, you have to get your household together. One thing I really do appreciate about one of my cousins, when me and her talk, and I seek to her for good counsel. If she's going through in that particular situation that I'm asking for advice in or good counsel in, she always tells me, I can't advise you in that area because right now because I'm going through in that area myself. I can be a listening ear. We can, I'll pray for you, you pray for me, but I cannot advise you in that area because I'm going through in that area right now. And right now you are going through in a lot of areas because there's a lot of open doors within your marriage. Also, another thing, God was also saying, He has told you in your singleness to start a single ministry for women. And it's like you didn't do it. You rushed and got married because you wanted to get married. You got tired of waiting. And we have to complete the assignments that God has given us in our singleness, whether we like it or not. And that assignment has not been completed. Okay? So we have to be obedient in our singleness. And there's a lot of things, woman of God, that you have to go back and you have to repent for. There's a lot of things that you're going to have to go back and you're going to have to undo, as far as apologizing to people for where you were bleeding on people because of your disobedience. We can be disobedient by moving too quick. If God had told you prior that this man was your husband, it might not have been the season for you to get married to him. It might have just been a season for you to pray for him because the people that he was dipping and dabbing with are dealing with new age and they have that stuff on him. So it was for you to stand and pray and watch from a distance, to be the watchman on the wall and pray for him. Just stand and pray for him, not to go rush and get married. We got to understand what season that we're in. Okay? And anytime we get to a point where we want to rush into marriage or where we feel like, oh, I'm tired of being single, I'm tired of being lonely, that's a trick of the enemy. Because then if you move based upon that, you're gonna choose wrong, or you're gonna move too quick on something that God has told you don't awaken love before time, and that can cause extra type of warfare within your marriage. But God is saying to stop bleeding on people because you want them to go through because you're going through. It's not their season to go through no more. Sometimes we go through in certain seasons because of our own disobedience and we don't want to admit it. We don't want to admit it. And like I said, you know that your husband before you got married, he was dipping and dabbing with other women. Like, and he'll come back and he complain to you about it or, or whatever. However y'all relationship started. But I know this is a saying that my father always told me. If a man will cheat on you, or if a man will cheat with you, I'm sorry, he will cheat on you. Okay? Emotionally cheating is still cheating. So again, my father always tell me if a man will cheat with you, he will cheat on you. And like I said, I feel like it's just like a lot. It was like a lot of emotional stuff that y'all was dipping and dabbing in, as far as like he was consulting you about stuff, and y'all had this emotional connection. But he was still tied to someone else because he was still having sex with someone else. So that was his spiritual spouse, and and if you're still experiencing attacks and stuff from a particular woman from within your marriage, it's because he didn't break that soul tie. He's still spiritually tied to that woman. And now you done got married to him and now y'all all spiritually tied together. That's where the warfare is coming from. And God is saying stop bleeding on people because you're going through and to get your household and stuff together in order. And right now, God is telling you can't really touch nothing in ministry because your household is not in order. Because you're bleeding and you're passing on these different spirits to other people and not realize that you're doing it. Spirits and stuff are transferable. Okay? And when you're going through, that's why God be telling us to, like, when we fast and stuff sometimes, to stay to ourselves. Because all that stuff got to purge. All that stuff got to come out. And we don't need to be around a whole bunch of people when all this stuff is coming out. We're going through deliverance. And when you're not really trying to get fully delivered, and when you're not really trying to fix the situation at hand that God is telling you to do, to be obedient and fix, you're bleeding on other people. And it's causing other people to get hurt. Okay? So, just want to come and say that God is saying, woman of God, to stop bleeding on other people because you're going through. To sit down and to fast and to deal with what God is telling you to deal with. Okay, because if you don't, it's not going to end well. I'm telling you right now, it's not going to end well because God is not pleased when you do stuff like that. Stop bleeding on other people. All right, if God, you might have to go back, like I said, and repent and ask God what you need to be doing, because a lot of the things that God had told you to complete in your singleness, you ran from. And that's disobedience. And that's another reason why doors are opening for the enemy to come in and attack you. because that single ministry that God has told you to do, that was very sacred to him, because he wanted to use you to help other people go through the singleness process before they get married, because being single is not always easy. But he ordained for you to do that, and you didn't do it. All right, so just wanted to come and share that. I love you guys, and I will chat with you all later.